Hey everybody, welcome back to Noizie Works. Today we are going to do something different. We are going to take everything you see here outside and we are going to build an outdoor kitchen. But first of all, I want to tell you I am not a professional woodworker. So this is the very first woodworking project I ever did. It is very bad, it's wobbly, it's a bit twisty on every side. This was the first and worst ever project I ever did. The second thing I ever did was this woodworking station. So we have a miter saw and we have a table saw right in there. I have a video about it, you can watch it right over there. And then I have built this awesome height adjustable table. So this table is fully customizable in height, so we can sit down on a stool, you can stand up by raising it with a DeWalt battery. You can also watch a video right over there. And then we have made this enclosure for my 3D printer. So there's a 3D printer right in here. We have a drying chamber right up here, so this is heated. This will keep all the moisture out. Super for printing ABS. And this is the last project I ever did before my outdoor kitchen. These are floating shelves. These house some power supplies, so everything is as clean as possible. We have only one cable running down powering these two designs, and up top we have some electricity where we can plug in like this humidifier or like that picture that is powered by an LED. This is one of my nicest designs so far, but the outdoor kitchen is also going to be a very fun project, and I'm really eager to know if I learned something from all these projects or if I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. So one thing to find out is to do it. And spoiler alert, we made some mistakes along the way and I'm going to take you with me. That's the fun that we have with woodworking. There is a lot of these mistakes that you can just cover up, never to be seen again. We are going to start with cutting some legs and we are going to do that in some pressure treated SLS wood. These are some standard sizes. We are going to use some wooden dowels to make sure that these legs are aligning with each other, and to glue them together we are going to use a construction adhesive. This is a polyurethane kind of adhesive. It will foam up when it expands. That makes for a very water resistant bonding, so you can use this perfectly for outdoor applications. Then you want to clamp these pieces up. If you don't, you will have some gaps, some weird curvatures in the wood. The wood wasn't straight at all, so we are going to clamp every leg up and let it dry. After that we dried it, you will have to cut away the foamed up polyurethane. You can easily do that easily. You can do it with some sharp tools. It's not that easy because it's semi-flexible. Now I took a sharp chisel and I chiseled away all these foamed up pieces of polyurethane. Once we have done that, we are going to make some bracing. Like you can see, we are going to make some panels out of it. I decided to use some pocket holes. The pocket holes give me some great clamping. This is my dog just randomly walking into the shot. This is me screwing in the bracings to the side of the legs that we made. Using a clamp is very handy to keep them aligned, because if you're using pocket screws, believe it or not, your wood tends to start to walk around and then we end up with not straight edges. Then we want to support our frame with some legs, so I bought some inserts that you have to drill. These inserts need to be smacked in with a hammer, and that will give you some threaded inserts so you can screw in these legs. Make sure to use enough of these, because this kitchen is going to get very heavy, and get somebody to turn this thing around. But like you can see, the quality of these feet is very, not so great. They all came loose, but once the weight got on it and we adjusted for the floor, this thing was kind of stable, so it's going to do its job just fine. But then the weather became an absolute jerk of a time. It was constantly raining, we had to constantly cover everything up, so I decided to put everything inside because I wanted to continue the project. So I started doing cutting inside, mounting it underneath some kind of an umbrella. As you can see, I had to decide to do some stuff without the camera just because I would otherwise destroy it. So if you're going to see some huge jumps, that's going to be it. Now we are going to make some supports. So we get some cross supporting on the top. We are going to do the same on the sides and at the bottom. Now I'm doing YouTube for at least 3 years now, and I've started to feel like a real YouTuber. I was getting shipment after shipment on the same day of resins to test. And look at this, I just bought this nice Kamado barbecue to complement the kitchen. Now it started to look like a real kitchen. All the bracings are in, and we have to cut some wood so we can put some flooring in on the underside. So these long strips are going to be mounted on the bottom. We are going to take some construction adhesive and shoot it on with a nailer. And once we are done, it should look something like this. Jumping forward, you can see that we already installed the top. The top is made by some insulation that is covered with a cement. It's super strong and it's used in bathrooms because it's water resistant. Then we are shooting these sides on. This is some kind of a thermo wood. We call it oyus. It's an African wood. Not sure what you call it in America, but yeah, it's that. Very soft. You have to be very careful. It's a bit like cedar. You will get it damaged very easily. Now covering it with wood is the perfect timing to start and cover up some of the mistakes. I had the problem that my corners weren't fully square, and you can cheat that a little bit by using these tongue and groove panels and just aligning them that they are fitting nice and straight. This is going to be a great tip if you overcut your wood. So you have a corner that is cut too much, you take some glue, you take some sawdust, you put it in, let it dry, and after you sand it, it's almost not noticeable. So we are now making the doors, and what you want to do is cut out the panels, and you want to keep the cutoffs because the cutoffs are going to be the door. So make sure that you keep them in the right order, because if you screw them up, then the panels will not align with the top side. So once you are done with cutting the panels, you will have to glue them together. I have used some plywood to keep that as a reinforcement, but we already made some mistake because when we are trying to fit the door, that one of the reinforcement strips that I used is hitting the bottom side of the frame that we made. So make sure that all your tolerances are correct and that you apply the supports at the right place. The backside is fully done. We have used another wood that is a lot harder because you are going to be cooking over there. So we are seeing now all the doors nice and finished. You can see also that I have mounted them higher, and now we are going to mount some hinges. We are going to use some common kitchen hinges where I made another mistake, making my tolerances too tight. But after fixing that with a chisel, we are now able to fit them to the kitchen, where I made yet another mistake. I have ordered the wrong hinges. So there are 3 types of hinges. You have hinges that are for flush mounting, you have hinges that are overlapping half, and then you have hinges that are just sticking out. I think it's called something like that. So after ordering the right hinges, we can continue the work, and we are making very fast progress with installing these hinges to the kitchen. Fast forward a few days, we have some finished sidings. These sidings are for flat roofs. Then we used some more of these foamed up plates to get the height level. And we started cutting the tiles so we can start to glue them on. We are using a flexible adhesive, so these tiles will stay slightly flexible. So contracting to the heat and the cold, they should be staying on that surface permanently, hopefully. Now, tiling wasn't that easy. It was the first time I ever tiled kind of mosaic, and together with my wife I was able to finish this build in quite a few hours. But again, we had some trouble with the rain just popping on and off like it's nobody's business. The weather forecasting was really terrible, and when everything dried, we started grouting the surface. We just used a regular white grout. I printed some 3D prints to finish up the cabinet doors. We have some doorknobs with some initials from Noizie works on it. We have some catch pins for one door that tends to stay open. We made a little jig so we can drill in the same corner at every door and mount these doorknobs so they are all nice at the same place. And once we've done that, it is looking something like this. I am really happy with the doorknobs. It's something custom. Next, I want to power everything up. So I want to put some sockets in it. I want to put some lights in it. And we already have prepared the cable. So this is a very thick cable. This cable was used for something totally different. We are going to use a full bridge rectifier for the LED strip. It's a 220 volt DC strip, so we have to put in a rectifier. Now it's time to wire everything up. So we have 2 automatic fuses and 1 box where we are going to use for the outdoor kitchen. So one will be for the outlets inside of the outdoor kitchen and one will be for the socket outside, so we can turn it off when it rains too much. Then the LED strip, this is the same strip we used for the shed. So we are going to cram it into the corners and glue it on the top sides, and then once it's installed together with the full bridge rectifier, we are using a smart outlet. We can control it using Google Assistant. Now everything is nice and finished up. These sockets are working. We have a nice and secure outdoor kitchen. It's time to do some cooking, and the best way to test it out is let's make a pizza. This is something you might don't know about me, but I love cooking, and now with the outdoor kitchen I have a nice space to be outside, do some cooking while I'm working and just enjoying life with my wife and friends. Now the most important thing to do with your pizza is to do whatever you want. If you like pineapple, just go ahead and smack some pineapple on it. This is the first time that I'm doing some pizza on the Kamado Joe, and I have to say that it was very fun to do for the first time. The pizza just came out amazing. The kitchen did its work. We have our first ever cook on the outdoor kitchen, and I couldn't be more happy than this. This was just such a great project to do. I really enjoyed building this outdoor kitchen. You can do it too, by the way. This was only, I think, a maximum of $1,000 for the complete kitchen. So if you would buy this at any outdoor supply store that would sell these modules so you can cook outside, modules go for $1,500 each. So to make one corner, I have calculated that you would need at least $7,500 to finish this outdoor kitchen. This was super fun to do. If you are a novice woodworker, just try this out. This was super cheap in contrast with the competition. Now it's time to enjoy the kitchen. So we are about 1 month later. We have built this in about beginning of August. We are 1 month later, and I can only say that it was such a great time building this outdoor kitchen. We had some great fun cooking with some friends. We have used this outdoor kitchen like a lot, but the weather just got worse. So that's going to conclude the video. I had so much fun building this project, and I hope you enjoyed watching it too. Give me a big thumbs up if you liked it. Comment down below if you are going to try and replicate it. This was something totally different from what I otherwise do. Normally I only do 3D printing, but this time I wanted to share this project with you because I thought it was going to be interesting. So that's gonna be it. You know what to do. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more like this. And guys, I hope to see you in the next one.